good, good aspidestra. Is that the word that I'm thinking of? Aspidestra. I read this word in a book last night. That's mostly where you read things. And now I'm worried that I've aspidistra. Aspidistra. It's a plant of the lily family. Anyway, good aspidistra. This is me taking down the hair that's been in a bun for a day and a half. Ooh, she is curled. Whoosh. This is what happens when it's just warm enough outside that having my hair on my neck feels like wearing a blanket. But in the interest of aesthetics, we'll try it. Oh my, oh, she's fluffy. It won't last, by the way. This curl, this wave will not last. It will stay like this for, I'm gonna guess, about half an hour, and then it'll start to frizz and annoy me, and I'll put it back up. So if you see my hair in various stages of dressing, that's what's happening. Let's see. I was just scrolling through, like the morning routine where you wake up and you kind of scroll through your social medias and read the news, read the headlines and stuff, and just really, really heartbreaking things happening in Minneapolis right now. Apparently, the National Guard has been deployed, and I just hope that no more lives are taken as a result. Trump, in his infinite idiocy, posted about it, and in one of his tweets, he said, "We're sending in the National Guard, and when there's looting, there's shooting." So they're basically saying we're going to go after people who are looting stores with bullets. This man is in charge of my country. Okay, well, let's not get into that too much here, because God knows, once I'm done with this little recording, I'm going to go for my little morning walk, and I will inevitably call my mother, and she and I will just despair of everything. I did see the mural that they're putting up on Chicago and 38th, and it's beautiful. There are pigeons across the street who are really trying to make a threesome happen. Okay, I can't say anything else about Minneapolis. It will hurt too much. That is not this platform. That is something to do on my personal time. Let's see. Going back real quick to see yesterday's answers. Yep, researched all those correctly. Okay, trivia for today before the weekend is comes up to give us a break. Shake the mood up. Get not so depressed and despondent. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, question number 1. In the metric system, the prefix hecto or hecta denotes what number? Is it 6? Or is it hexa? Hexa is 6. And hepta is 7. Octa is 8. Nona is 9. I think it's 6. Hectare? I don't know. Number 2, there are only 9 albums that have sold over 40 million copies worldwide. Of those 8, 2 are soundtracks. One from the 70s and one from the 90s. Name those movies for 1 point each. Okay, I feel like I actually had this question in a different trivia game by Trivia Mafia years ago. I don't know if they're recycling questions or if I'm just misremembering Night and a Bar from, 7 years ago? I don't know. But I kind of think that it's Saturday Night Fever and The Bodyguard. I kind of think those are the 2. I'm not going to feel any more about it. Number 3, what are one-humped camels called? Are those dromedaries? Or pachyderms. Oh, shit. What's... Okay, I think a pachyderm... Is an elephant a pachyderm? Oh, dear. Dromedary. I don't know. Number 4, Christine Sinclair broke the previous world record for goals scored at the international level by a player of any gender earlier this year when she scored her 185th and 186th. Wait, what? Christine Sinclair broke the previous world record for goals scored at the international level by a player of any gender earlier this year when she scored her... So it's not specifying the sport. Maybe that's intentional. Maybe they're trying to be inclusive. What American who retired in 2015 had held it up until then? I don't know. Is it all in the same sport? Or is it like this person who broke the record with a soccer goals was then outstripped by someone who made baskets? I feel like this question is not very well presented. An American athlete, I assume, who retired in 2015 held a world record for goals scored. Brandy Chastain. I don't know. Okay, number 5. Today is May 29th. Happy 45th birthday to Melanie Brown. Like the Spice Girls Melanie Brown? Like Scary Spice? By the way, why was she Scary Spice? Because she was black? While she has her own solo music career, she's still best known for her work with Mud Musical Group. I had a choreographed dance, as I'm sure every girl did in the 90s, to spice up your life. And it was like, slime it to the left if you're having a good time, shake it to the right if you know that you feel fine, chicas to the front, and then you go round, but I'm sitting, so I can't do that part. But I felt like such a badass doing, and I still do it whenever that song is on. I have no shame. Okay, let's do a little Googling real quick, and then we will go be physically active. Okay, I have the answers. Hecto or hecta is not 6. That is definitely hexa. Hecto means 100. Shit, well, I got a message. Not important. Okay, so didn't get that one. The 9 albums that have sold 40 million or more to soundtracks, I definitely have answered this question before. It was The Bodyguard and Saturday Night Fever. Looks like that those trivia games do come in handy when you play more trivia games. The others, if you're curious, let's see, how many are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, all of the 9. Okay, so Michael Jackson's Thriller, no shock. AC/DC, Back in Black. All right. Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. Really? Meatloaf. I don't even like the food meatloaf. Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon. Bodyguard. It's not The Eagles, it's just Eagles. Greatest Hits. All right, Dad Rock. Saturday Night Fever. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. That's not surprising. And Shania Twain, Come On Over. Wow. Some stuff happened. This girl will not stay on my face. She wants to be seen. Goodness. I can't keep it down. Is it better on this side? No. It's just going to be a burden. Yeah, okay. So whoever is listening to Pink Floyd, Eagles, and Shania Twain, you got a broad sense of artistry, but you know what? You go for it. One-humped camels are called dromedaries. Nice. Christine Sinclair. Okay, so I found on canadasoccer.com, so a soccer situation, it says, now in her 21st international season, Christine Sinclair has scored more international A goals than any other player in the history of soccer, surpassing Abby Wambach as in the first half of the Wednesday match. Okay, against St. Kitts and Nevis. All right. Across her career, Sinclair has scored 185 goals in 290 international matches. Number 1, good for you, Christine Sinclair, and good for you, Abby Wambach. That is a very difficult threshold to meet, especially in soccer, where there aren't a lot of scores happening usually. I have a little bit of an issue with this question, though, because it didn't specify the sport. It didn't specify really any sort of parameters. So I didn't get the point, but I have issue with it. And then obviously Mel B, Spice Girls, Scary Spice, don't test me. So, possible 6 points today. We got Bodyguard, Saturday Night Fever, Dromedary, Spice Girls. 4 out of 6. 2 out of 3. 67%. Or 66.6666646. I would just like to state for the record that as I was just getting ready to go out, that includes, focus please. Thank you. That includes going to the bathroom, making sure there's no need for a bathroom while out and about. That's the rule. Go to the bathroom before you leave. Even if you don't think you have to, just do it, okay? Little common sense for you. But as of that little visit, I have officially on day 74, I think, of lockdown / post-lockdown situation of not having, a routine life, as it were. I have finally ended the last roll of toilet paper in the pack that I had when lockdown started. It took me 74 days to get through 6 rolls of single ply. Is that a proud thing? Am I proud? A little bit proud. I am now back from my walk, as you can tell, because my rosy cheeks. Got these little pink cheeks. I think I got a little bit of a... Oh yeah, I got color. I think it was yesterday. And then it set in today a little bit more. So gonna have to start putting on SPF a little bit more liberally, I think. It's getting to be pre-summer. I mean, we have another month before summer starts, but anyway. Remember when I was talking about how my landlord sold my apartment? Actually, I think I might have cut that out of a previous recording because the video was already too long. My landlord sold my apartment, but don't worry, I don't have to leave. I don't have to relocate. I don't have to apartment hunt. Basically, he was just tired of being an owner. He was tired of, property tax and maintenance and all of that, which is fair. It's hard to do, especially in Paris. So he wanted to sell with the stipulation that I not be made to move out. So he wanted to sell to someone who only wanted to own property but didn't want to occupy, which was very nice of him. It was very kind on his part to look out for me. Who I've never actually met him. I've only ever worked with his daughter in person. But they've been really, really good to me as property managers, I guess, or landlord, or whatever the term you want to use. And I just got a call from the new owners a little while ago, just to kind of introduce themselves and ask if there was anything that needed to be fixed in the apartment, kind of getting through all of that. And I told them a couple things, like my sink has been drippy and running. I think, is gasket, is that the term? There's like a joint, I guess, in the sink that is, I think it's just worn out, like the rubber ring or something that you need to repair periodically, or replace periodically, I guess. And it was just dripping for a long time, and I thought I wasn't closing or I wasn't twisting the hot water handle hard enough. And so I was twisting it until my hands were red, and it was still dripping. And then I realized, call my dad, realize, no, there's probably an issue with the innards. So I found that turning off the hot water, like that little switch in, actually, I'll just show you. If you come into my bathroom, there is the apparatus here that controls the hot water. And if you turn it on, it makes a noise here, and then immediately my sink starts to drip. So initial drip, and then it'll just drip constantly. By the way, cake pan is soaking to remove crumbs. So since this has been happening, there it goes again, since confinement started, turning it back off, I've had to keep my hot water off, and I only run it to take a shower or occasionally to wash dishes or to do laundry or something, so it doesn't drip constantly. Even when I run my bathroom sink, it makes the kitchen sink drip for a couple of hours. It's very aggravating, but I haven't had a plumber come and fix it because I didn't want to have, people in my house risking, trading contagion or whatever. So I told him about it, and that's something that has been, addressed. This, where is it? That baby, right there. Doesn't have a light bulb in it because I'm gonna come all the way into the bathroom so the water running doesn't aggravate me. In I think it was October when they were starting to talk about selling the property. They had the building manager had I think you would call it an assessor come to my apartment and kind of check everything out, take the dimensions of everything. Is it really 24 meters squared? Is it how's the heating work? Is there, the plumbing up to code? Is all that up to code? And one of the things that the guy found was that the thing that held the light bulb in my bathroom is not up to code. I don't know what exactly the issue is. He said it in very fast French with a little bit of an accent. Hello, you. That's you. Right there. That's you. But basically he said, like, until we can get it fixed and up to code, you can't have a light in there. It's a risk. Okay, so his job is safety. I'm not going to go against that. I have had a light bulb in there pretty consistently since I moved in almost 6 years ago, and nothing has happened. But I do not know as much about electricity as he does. I am not going to go against him. So I have not had a light bulb in there since October. It is almost June now. It's been a little while. Luckily, I have a vanity light, so I can still see in my bathroom at night. But yeah, that's been fun. So I've been trying to get, if I don't want to pay for the repairs myself, which I don't, I have been trying to get the building management to send an electrician out to come fix it, and it's just been a nightmare because I keep calling the building management every now and then to say, like, is there an update? Have you got someone? And they said, like, yeah, we gave your contact information to an electrician. He didn't call you? Welcome to France. So I've raised it with the new landlord now, and hopefully he will be able to. I say he, it's a married couple. So the one that I was on the phone with was a he, but the person who came to visit the apartment initially was a she. Cool. So he took note of all of that and said, like, well, are you planning on going anywhere in June? And I said, no, not going anywhere anytime soon. So I can be here to let people in to do repairs. If there's a weekend project, there might need to be some sort of plans made, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But it was nice to have contact from him and know that someone's in my corner, I guess. Cool. Yeah, I guess it is the time to contact because change of the month, gonna have to figure out how to pay rent. Not how to pay rent, like where the money's coming from, but like where to send the rent. This is the question. Anyway, okay, my arm's tired. I'm gonna put you down now. Totally improvising tonight's dinner. I have spinach, I have tomatoes, I have chicken going in the thingy, in the oven. Did the skin first, like the crisping the skin. Got some cream that needs to be used up soon, so I'll probably mix that with like some water and like a bouillon cube and some seasoning and just try to improvise a sauce. Pray for me. By the way, I am pre-tearing my spinach. I am so paranoid about spinach having that grit in it that I washed each leaf individually, and now I'm like ripping out all of the ribs. This had better be delicious with all this work that I'm going to. Oh, what's that? A little caprese appetizer? Huh. Never would have thought of that on my own. Crazy. Although I just came stupidly close to, instead of taking the balsamic vinegar bottle, which is over here, grabbing this bottle of Bailey's, which is so suspectly in the middle of my counter. That would have been a disaster. No, chocolate and tomatoes. No. Stick with the balsamic. Man, this just gets uglier and uglier every time I make it. That does not even look like mozzarella. It's all kind of whatever store I get it from, what kind of quality it is. In the end, it all tastes delicious. But like visually, it could be a lot better. I don't care though. It's so good. Well, let's just watch all of this become that. Spinach, you are such a racket. Like good for the bones or something. I don't know. Well, I'm not sure the sauce that I set out to make is what I've ended up with, but there we are. I'm waiting for it to be a teensy bit thicker. But we're almost there. Yeah, I'll take it. And then I also have just entirely too much pasta under here. I thought enough pasta for one person. This is like for one and a half. So it may not all make it into my belly tonight. And then I roasted chicken. Well, I have a whole one still. I have a leg plus thigh combo, and I roasted them like that. And then I just stripped it all off the bone because it's a lot easier to eat without a fork that way. Without a fork and knife. It's really hard to eat bone-in meat with a fork and knife. I just don't like it. I like to rip it off when I'm home alone and want to sit on the couch. Okay, I'm gonna pull it off the heat here. Should we do a pour over? Here we go. Here we go. You ready? Oh my god! So much spinach! Sploosh! Oh, that's not a nice sound to hear. Get all those little bits of toasted garlic all up in there. I went to the effort of peeling and chopping a fresh garlic clove and not just using the powdered stuff, even though that would have been so easy. Now my hands smell like garlic. I did this for you guys. All right, final product. Looks pretty nice. All right, should we do a taste test? See if I can get everything on the fork. You know what? This spinach is really slimy. Oh, in a good way, I hope. Okay, here's most of it. Pasta's a bit overdone. I let it sit too long after taking it off the heat. Oh well. Well, I just fell into a Hadestown hole once again and realized that it is just after 10:30 and I still haven't done my second walk of the day yet. And I'm only at 7343. I got some work to do. Look, I'm out again. You cannot see me at all. All you can see is a cheekbone once in a while. Does she come out? Does the cheekbone come out? There she is. I always go on the same street because it doesn't look like it, but it's well lit. And there's enough people around that I feel like if I shouted, I would be heard, which is encouraging for a woman walking alone at night. Anyway, I'm going uphill, so I need to conserve my breath. Okay, so I'm walking back, and there's this really loud engine noise from behind me, and there is not one, not two, but three very obnoxious sports cars revving, woo, 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 like far too noisy for almost 11 p.m. Might even be after 11 p.m. I don't know. And then a little utility SUV thing just kind of comes crawling up behind them like a normal. And then a fourth little sports car is dragging behind like the little kid brother who couldn't keep up with the old ones. How lame. Number one, how lame do you have to be try to be fake drag racing in suburban Paris? And then to see your meager pride get dashed once again because you fell behind at a stoplight? Childish. Look, there they are. Being dicks. See this? Wow, virility must be really fragile. Okay, let's just establish this for a second. I came from there, and they were driving that way, so they came all this way down the street, turned around somewhere, came back down this street, and turned there. Fucking dicks. Just showing off how loud they can be at 11 p.m. Castrate yourselves. I don't know. I can't handle that. That's bullshit. Okay, last thing. Did you notice that they were all the same car except for the color? How uncreative can you be? What's the opposite of individualistic? How sheep-like can you be to get the same make and model of a car and think well, I'm going to get mine in powder blue. I want mine in black. Ugh, children. I swear I can still hear the cars, but maybe that's just me rage hallucinating. In any case, it's 11:15-ish now. I have met my threshold. It says I got 10,245, so That is good enough for me. I'm gonna wrap it up. Good night.